In today's news, Labor Minister confirms end of temporary termination extension, instructs employers to pay up. He says compensation should be delayed no further. VI Youth Parliament holds first debate. Star athlete Tariq Charles of Pelican Gate joins us live to discuss the upcoming inter-primary competitions, and shipment of 20,000 doses of vaccines arrive in the Bahamas. Now, invalidations of Meghan's claims of racism have said to hurt black women. We'll have all the details of these and so much more after a word from our sponsors. You're watching 284 News.
The win! Oh!
What the hell?
I'm freaking out!
Is time.
284 News.
Coming to you live and direct from the beautiful British Virgin Islands.
What's poppin', what's really good, what's happening, what's up?
Davis has won it for the Lakers!
Welcome everybody. It's Thursday, March 11th, 2021. I'm Ron Grant and you're watching 284 News out of Tortola in the British Virgin Islands. Thanks for joining us. A terrific Thursday to one and all. Beginning on the local scene here in the British Virgin Islands, as was first reported by our agency, the temporary termination extension expired on February 28, 2021, 1 year after the initial extension was granted. At a recent sitting at the House of Assembly on Wednesday, March 10th, Labour Minister, the Honourable Vincent Wheatley said, and I quote, "Employees are the most important asset of a business and compensation should be delayed no further." The minister officially confirmed the end of the extension and also referred to as the layoff period and made an appeal to employers, saying, "I ask here today that employers make the necessary arrangements with employees to bring outstanding payments current." Now, this announcement follows a series of extensions. On May 29, 2020, the minister responsible for immigration and labor, the Honourable Vincent Wheatley, announced plans to amend the Labour Code Amendment Act 2020 to make provisions for an extension to October 31st. This was then approved by the Cabinet of the Virgin Islands. Once the October 31st deadline approached, the minister further stated that the October 31st temporary termination deadline will be extended to November 15th, 2020 in an attempt to benefit employers and employees. However, the November 15th tentative date was rejected by some residents who said they have persons ready and willing to work, and further requested the date be extended to December 15th or 31st. Now, in response to community appeals from both employers and employees, Minister Wheatley said he was trying to find a middle ground by seeking a balance for both parties, stating, and I quote, the current pandemic in mind and the harsh realities being faced by both employers and employees inspired Cabinet's decision to extend to 2021. Now, while this worked to the benefit of business owners, many were also concerned about the employees who have been displaced since March of 2020 without jobs, as the tourism industry remains closed. And of course, the reopening of these seaports, as we all know, has been again deferred to 2021 in April. As was mentioned when first reported, this now means that employers have to make some very difficult decisions. Do they sever staff or return them as full-time employees? Meanwhile, Minister Wheatley, is instructing employers to begin paying severance to their staff immediately and can do so in installments and should visit the Department of Labor and Workforce Development to get assistance in developing plans to make outstanding payments. Now, severance equals a lump sum with a deadline by which it is to be paid. This is a very short grace period, and a payment plan for severance is only possible once again agreed upon by the employee, which was confirmed by the minister, stating that this must be mutually agreed upon. For employers with expat employees, they have signed an immigration bond which holds them liable to pay repatriation fees, including airfare and hotel accommodations for the repatriation of said employees. When considering large hotels and organizations who have a number of expat workers, this is a significant cost to employers in addition to paying severance. Now, when considering both sides, some would side with the government in ending the temporary termination deadline instead of having persons wait in vain, not knowing their employment fate. Now, both employers and employees have experienced significant losses as a result of the situation. Both employers and employees requiring assistance regarding severance payment should visit the Labor Department in person or by contacting the Labor Relations Officer at 468-4739. Again, that number is 468-4739. The Virgin Islands Youth Parliament has taken center stage today, Thursday, March 11th, holding its first sitting following a series of training sessions, preparatory meetings, a relaunching ceremony, and of course the appointment of a secretariat. Premier of the Virgin Islands Youth Parliament, Mr. Kevin Foy, moved a motion that allowed him and his youth colleagues to debate or begin debating the topic, should the Virgin Islands move to self-determination. Now the debate is taking place as we speak and has seen some very strong points raised thus far from each speaker. They were given 10 to 15 minutes to present. Coordinator of the Virgin Islands Youth Parliament Secretariat, Dr. Arlene T. Penn, said the youth parliamentarians have been engaged in intense research and discussions about the motion and that they have been meeting several days a week, including weekends, to prepare their contributions for the upcoming debate. Now, Dr. Penn said, as the Secretariat, our responsibility is to create learning opportunities for the young people to gather primary and secondary data from different stakeholders, including scholars in local, regional, and international institutions. She continued by saying, we expose them to different strategies for interpreting the data collected, whether it is quantitative or qualitative, the coordinator stated. Additionally, we have been working with them to ensure that there is a clear understanding of the differences that exist between parliamentary and school debates. Now, she continued, our responsibility is not to tell the youth what to think about what they are stating, or instead, we have encouraged all of them to allow research data collected to guide and shape how they draw their conclusions and frame their respective contributions to ensure independent thinking through the lens of the youth. A 5-member secretariat led by Dr. Penn was appointed to the Virgin Islands Youth Parliament in January to provide support of the Management Committee of elected members. Members of the Secretariat include Mrs. Phyllis Evans, Mrs. Brenda Letsamtai, Mrs. Heidi Selwood, and Mrs. Janice George Harris. The Virgin Islands Youth Parliament is comprised of 23 young people from all districts ranging from ages 18 to 35. The nominees were selected from other organizations, churches, and nonprofit organizations. Viewers, for those who missed the debate that's going on as we speak, you can visit our Facebook page at 284 Media, as the debate is presently being restreamed for your viewing. It is also being broadcast live on the House of Assembly VI's YouTube page, Government of the Virgin Islands Facebook page, and on ZBVI 780 AM. Still ahead, shipment of 20,000 doses arrives in Bahamas, and invalidations of Meghan's claims of racism have said to hurt black women. We're going to have all those details both on the regional and international scene when we return. You're watching 284 News.
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works. Gentlemen, aspiring gentlemen, and our partners that hold us down. It's season 2 of The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, taking you on the most inspiring journey with the best and brightest distinguished gentlemen of the BVI. Raw, real-life lessons that translate to grounded, community-minded, well-rounded men like you've never seen them before. Governor Augustus J.U. Jaspert, Jovan Klein, Neil Klein, and so much more. Turning modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen with yours truly, Ron Grant, a 284 Media production.
Viewers, welcome back. Now on to the regional and international scene. Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis of the Bahamas said yesterday the government will begin its COVID-19 vaccine rollout next week following trial run this weekend. A batch of 20,000 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine, that is, which was donated by the Indian government, arrived in the Bahamas on March 10, 2021. He said in an official comment, "We have completed the IT program to ensure the registration of individuals so the entire system can be transparent, and we're following the protocols, and we will send the protocols to the World Health Organization so that the entire world will be familiar with what we have done." Now, Prime Minister Minnis continued by saying, "So there can be no possibility or question of anyone jumping the line or showing favoritism to this one or the next. It will be a totally transparent program, and you will have the information available to you." Now, viewers, on Tuesday, the heads of the 3 major healthcare unions in the country said they had not received any information from the government on how the rollout of the vaccine will take place. When asked to respond to the unions, Minnis said he is more concerned about getting the vaccine out to the public so that we can get back to normalcy as quickly as possible. Now, as the vaccine rollout commences, the public will receive more information, he said, from the government. He said in a constant consultation with the health officials, everything will be totally transparent. All of the information you want, you will receive. Yesterday marked the arrival of the first vaccine in the Bahamas, nearly a year after it confirmed its first case of COVID-19. The government is also expected to receive 33,600 of 100,800 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine, which was secured throughout the COVAX facility by the end of the month. Healthcare workers and workers of the ununiformed branches will be among the first group of people to receive the vaccine in the Bahamas. Now, earlier this week, the Centers for Disease Control outlined its guidelines for what fully vaccinated individuals in the United States will be able to do. Yesterday, when asked if the government is working on similar guidelines for the Bahamas, the Prime Minister replied, "Yes, I am in consultation again with my advisor, who is communicating with the entire committee. We have been following the science throughout this entire pandemic. We were advised and we were guided by the science and the professionals, and we will again continue to follow these guidelines. So they will put on the necessary guidelines and we will follow them." Now, the Bahamas has been in a state of emergency since March of 2020. Over the last year, Minnis, in his capacity as competent authority, has implemented curfews, lockdowns, border closures, and other measures similar to other Caribbean regions in an attempt to curtail the spread of COVID-19 in the Bahamas. Following the arrival of the vaccines yesterday, he said, "This is one of the most delightful and joyous days of my life, because now we can truly see light at the end of the tunnel, where we can overcome this pandemic and get back to normal life, which I know you all have been waiting for." He said Junkanores called him on Tuesday and asked when they can start preparing for the next Junkanu parade. He said, "One of my happiest moments, other than this, will be when I can say, Junkanores, friends, colleagues, get ready for Christmas. Let's rock and roll," said Minnis, who is a member of the sanctioned superstars. The Junkano parades were canceled for 2021 season and were all such major events over last year because of the COVID-19. Junkano is a local Christmas parade that takes place in the Bahamas, and as you can see, residents are excited to be able to get back to that, and we are very happy for our counterparts over in the Bahamas as they have received the much needed vaccines. On the international scene out of the Associated Press, as the highly anticipated Prince Harry and Meghan's TV interview echoes internationally, it's left the more than 50 million viewers grappling with the couple's claims of racism and lack of support that Meghan says drove her to thoughts of suicide. But for many black women worldwide, the headline and social media discussions were painfully familiar, with social media conversations questioning whether racism affected Meghan's treatment by the British press and royal family. Many black women say it is yet another example of black women's experience with racism being disregarded and denied. While supremacy seeks to isolate you, make you feel like no one is listening and no one is supporting you, it is used as a tool to keep in power, said Gail Johnson, associate professor in the Department of African American Studies at UCLA. And so when you aren't validated in your feelings or feel supported, that does realm harm. Now, Meghan, the daughter of a white father and a black mother, said that when she was pregnant with her son Archie, a member of the royal family expressed concerns about how dark his skin, that is, might be. The former television star also said she sought mental health help through the palace's Human Resources Department, but was told there was nothing they could do about it. Almost as soon as the interview with Oprah Winfrey aired, many were quick to deny Meghan's allegations of racism. The New York Post published a column titled, "Meghan Markle's interview was full of bull." British television host Piers Morgan quit his job on Good Morning Britain after facing backlash for saying on air that Meghan lied about suffering suicidal thoughts in what he called a 2-hour trash-a-thon of the royal family. Now on Tuesday, Buckingham Palace released a statement saying the whole family is saddened to learn the full extent of how challenging the last few years have been for Harry and Meghan, but that some reconciliations may vary. Now, Johnson said the doubts and questioning cast against Meghan claims were emotionally reckoning for many black women who may relate to the trauma of having their personal experiences with racism invalidated by others. In a comment, she said, "It is an insult when people are really sought of about racism. People like Meghan Markle experience because that incredibly speaks volumes about what people refuse to see and right in front of their eyes at the time, and some people have negative comments daily," she said. That makes a toll. It takes a toll on a person and their mental health. Now, Dr. Anita Thomas, Executive Vice President of Provost at St. Catherine University in St. Paul, Minnesota, said watching Meghan's interview with Winfrey was emotional. It speaks to the burden that many African American women face. For black women, it was upsetting to see that, even when she had the courage to speak out about her experience with racism, that she didn't get the support that she needed, and in many ways her experiences were invalidated. Thomas said during the such treatment, it requires psychological and emotional energy to navigate. As a psychologist, I hope people talk about this effect of racism and sexism on the psychological functioning. Founder of the UK-based reggae and Rasta lifestyle publication Just Jah magazine, said that while initially saw an outpouring of support for Meghan, she quickly saw the change on social media. They will ignore what has been saying about racism and what Meghan and Harry have been saying. Who lives in London wrote, "This is how the media and certain parts of the public work. Some formula. Same, very simple." Now, of course, viewers, this highly anticipated interview was quite met with mixed emotions from across the international scene. As we said, some persons even giving up their employment, like the very popular Mr. Piers Morgan. Will continue to keep you updated, but the fiery UK and long-standing history of dismissing black women, they said in conversations about racism, they've never been believed, she said. It's always deny and dismiss, and this has been the sentiments that's been echoed quite a lot by a lot of persons as we continue to follow this highly controversial and absolutely devastating story. Viewers, still ahead, we are joined by star athlete in the Virgin Islands, the one and only Tyreek Charles of Pelican Gate. It's inter-primary school sports. And he has had much success over the years with sports, and we're so happy to have him. We're going to have this right back after a word from our sponsors. You're watching 284 News.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, do enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer in line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes, Sonny.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut front of people.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you? You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
Viewers, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. You're watching 284 News out of Tortola in the BVI. Tyreek Charles, welcome to 284 News. We're so happy to have you this evening.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Now, Tyreek, you have had much success over the past year. You are the victor for 2020 and the division champ for Underboy 13. Tell me about how it feels to be holding that title.
It feels good, and you just get to do what you do.
Awesome. Now, you enjoy doing exactly what you do, and you're going to be doing that again tomorrow at the inter-primary school. You're going to be running the 200 and 100 meters. Am I correct?
Yes.
What can persons expect from these races from you?
Lots of stuff, I guess, and good stuff.
All right. Now, you have continued to be working. Who's your coach at this time?
Barrett.
Okay. How many times a week do you train?
3 days, sometimes 4 days a week.
Is it hard work, or has it come as something a little bit easy for you?
A little bit easy.
Okay. Now, when you think of the COVID-19 and the situation that we have been facing, how happy are you that we're actually able to have a sports day?
You're happy?
Okay. Now, encouragement. I want you to give some encouragement to your fellow athletes.
Just do what you do and do a good job. Everybody's going to be proud of you at the end of the day.
All right, viewers, Tyreek is a grade 4 student at the Pelican Gate Primary School, and he will be again tomorrow at the inter-primary school. He's going to be defending that title of Victor 2020, also division champ under 20 boys. He is going under 13 boys. Sorry, he's going to be joined by a number of athletes from across the region for the inter-primary school who are going to be representing their schools in a variety of different races. Now, these races are going to be live streamed by 284 Media, and for those persons who are unable to be there at the races, we're going to make sure that you have full coverage. Tyreek, we wish you all the best, and we continue to wish you much success. Have some fun tomorrow, and we wish you bring home that victory once again.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. Viewers, that is all the time we have today. Be sure to view and visit our website and our Facebook page for our daily happenings. In addition to that, be sure to visit us tomorrow as we deliver your daily dose of local, regional, and international content. It's always our pleasure. I'm Ron Grant. You've been watching 284 News.